Okay, if you've just faced an audit, this video may be important to you. It's on what are the basics of IRS appeals representation. What do you need to know if the IRS is taking a position that you don't agree with? You don't think they got the law right, you don't think they got the facts right. Bottom line is they're talking more tax, penalties and interest, and you don't want to be on the hook for those amounts. Let me tell you this, if you do nothing, if you just stall and ignore all their communication, what's going to happen is they're eventually going to issue what's called the statutory notice of deficiency, which is a 90-day letter. If that 90-day period ticks and you take no action, even if they got the law wrong, they got the facts wrong, the amount thereafter of tax, penalties, and interest becomes legally accessible and collectible, and you're on the hook for it, even if they completely in left field with what they did. Okay, so this video is on how you go about contesting an IRS assessment, or a collection action for that matter. When the auditing process concludes, the IRS will send you a notification letter explaining its findings and any changes they propose to bring you back into its version of what your tax compliance should have looked like. The first step, even before you get a 30-day letter or a 90-day letter, ordinarily the auditor will communicate with you his or her findings, and if you disagree, the first opportunity you get to chime in with your opinion is by scheduling an informal meeting between the auditor and their manager, where you argue why the facts are different or the law is different and why they shouldn't have assessed you additional tax, penalties, and interest. Best to do this with a representative. If following this informal meeting you still agree, you should consider formally appealing the IRS's assessment, and that's what this video is on. How do you do that? On the other hand, if you agree with the changes the auditor is making, all you have to do is sign off on their auditor's report. At that point, you give up all appeal rights. The amount becomes legally assessed, and they can begin collection action on you to collect those amounts the next day. So be very careful. See a tax professional before you sign off on an audit. The cold, hard truth here is that the appeals process is not for amateurs. You really need to have someone take you through that process that understands it well and has a track record of getting good results for the clients they take through it. Unfortunately, if you don't get what you're looking for in the appeals process with the IRS Office of Appeals, you may have to take your case on to tax court and actually litigate it. A good tax attorney can often still negotiate a settlement with the Office of Chief Counsel after appeals washes their hands of the issue, and you might not necessarily have to incur the cost of litigation if the facts are on your side and the law is on your side. Working with an experienced attorney CPA can help you maximize your chances of making a successful appeal, while at the same time resolving your tax liability as efficiently and cost effectively as possible.